everyone. Can you? Okay. Have you ever wondered what gets talked about at the beauty shop? Well, we're here to bear it all.
Welcome to Shop Talk with Pep and Ev, where every week there's going to be a different topic that is most often talked about in the beauty shop.
Today's topic is how do men know when they have found the one?
Or when they think they have. Please welcome our first guest.
This is Samaje.
Hello.
Okay, let's just jump right into it.
Samanje, how do you know when you found your one?
How do you know when you found one? Kind of a tough question. So I think when you're young, you go through a phase where you think you found the one, and you do everything you can to impress that person, and you kind of change yourself, go outside of your own ways, and it works for a limited amount of time. But as you get older, you realize that the one is when you don't have to compete. You don't have to do something that's not yourself. You can be yourself, and she can also be herself, and you will come to each other's lives. If it is down each other or create problems for each other and such and such.
So let's go back to when you said when you're younger. Because society tells us.
Because you're kind of young already.
No, he's not. He's like 30.
I'm 31.
31
Well, compared to me.
compared to us.
I mean, I'm old.
But like, I know from a female perspective, like we watch movies, we read books, all the fairy tales, all the Walt Disney movies, and they tell us about like our Prince Charming and how he'll come and he'll like rescue us and sweep us off our feet and
On a white horse.
We'll have a perfect happily ever after life, right? But for boys, what do you guys feel pressured to feel or to do to be?
Not much until you feel like she's doing. Then you'll start to feel like you want to do things to accommodate and make her life easy and spoil her. And,
So do you feel like that's one of the signs for you is like when you notice yourself doing things for a girl that you normally wouldn't do?
yeah, because you genuinely care. And that shows throughout what you do and all the good things.
Through your actions.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we weren't wrong when we said we were talking about these things every day in the salon. And I had said something that I'm to a point now when I date, I no longer listen to what a man says he can do for me. I'm all about seeing. And I don't mean like monetary. I don't mean like buying me things. I mean like it's gonna show in his actions. Like you can tell when someone cares for you by how they care for you, their concern for you, their consideration for you in all decisions that they make.
I think for men, you can tell because of time.
What do you mean?
When we care about something, we put the time in or make the time for it. If we don't, we'll make excuses. There'll never be time. There'll always be something else that we could be doing instead of that.
That's interesting to hear that be acknowledged.
It is. And I think a lot of us too, as women, will be like, oh, okay, well, he's just super busy. We'll make excuses for them, like he's just super busy. I know he likes me because when I go over to his house, he's all over me.
My favorite thing that girls say is, well, he says all the right things.
Yeah. But he said this to me, huh? Like, but he told me that he feels this way. He told me that he can't see anyone else in his life but me.
Right.
But like Maje said, like, it's going to show him what he does. And the sacrifices as far as like his time, what he's willing to commit to you.
Yeah. So I have a question. What traits do you see in a wife versus a girlfriend?
In a wife versus a girlfriend, there's bigger roles versus the home. Like what goes on in the home, I feel like makes it different. A girlfriend, somebody will go on dates, go see, spend time with, but a wife you'll still spend time with, and also will help you do laundry, help you around the house. You'll help her around her house, and so on and so forth. I mean, family and things like that.
Do you feel like those are things that should happen prior to actually making that jump and getting married? Or do you feel like those are things that you can immediately see in someone like that's who she is as a person. I know that I'm going to get that if I do notice it.
That's both. You should see it prior to getting to see somebody, and also the sign should be there early on. You shouldn't have to necessarily work forever waiting on those signs, hoping on them and not seeing them. It's probably not going to do it.
So I read some different books, and one popular opinion, hear that one more time, is love is a choice, not a feeling. How do you feel about that? How do men feel? How do you think men feel about that?
It's both. I feel like it is it's a little bit of both. So love is a feeling that you have for somebody, but also I believe that love is totally a choice because you can have love for somebody, but choose not to love them.
Man, that's deep. And I think so many people do that.
Well, because sometimes you have to let go of something that you love if it's not for you. If it's not making you healthy mentally or emotionally, and then you're constantly under a fight or flight.
Okay, but on the flip side, how many people do you think that we love that maybe we don't show them we love them or we don't love them? We just think we love them. You know? It's a good thought.
That is rough. I think that
it's rough.
I think that maybe like it's subjective, right? Like everybody has a different idea of what they determine love to be. But at the end of the day, I think that love is when you're willing to put somebody and their needs before your own.
Yeah.
Their happiness, and not to say that it's somebody else's responsibility to make you happy or to keep you happy. But I think being the good partner, and when you truly love somebody, you want to see a smile on their face. You want to see that the things that you do resonate with them in a way that's they feel deeply about how you feel about them.
And seeing them happy would make you happy.
Exactly.
I think that's like a role like a play all the way around there because you have to feel happy so that you can feel happy, and you have to feel happy so that you can feel happy. So it's gotta be something that makes you both happy.
My mom's always said this, and what he just said reminded me of that. My mom's always said, when you find a partner, if you make your time about making him happy and he spends his time worrying about making you happy, then nobody has to be selfish and worry about themselves because everybody's taking care of each other and you're all taking care of them.
Makes a lot of sense.
But I think in today's age, we're taught that it's not somebody else's responsibility to make you happy. It's your own. And it's about two happy people coming together and having this life, right? But we're also in a state of being in this, collectively, of a lot of
Hi, Chetta.
emotional instability and different mental health issues. Like there's a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. Those all play a big role in having a healthy relationship and how you navigate through those things.
You know what my mom used to say? My mom used to say, love a man all you want, but never ever depend on a man. So, yeah, but it's interesting. Look at the difference between my mom and your mom, my dad and your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your family has that take care of each other mentality, and my mom's marriage, not so much. And so it put her on a fight or flight mode where she was like, I'll love a man, but I'll never depend on one again.
Right.
And that was something that she engraved literally in me and my sister's heads. Like, love a man, but do not depend on one. That's hard because when you're married, you depend on each other.
Right.
You have to depend on each other or the marriage won't work.
That's true.
So how do you think men live up to that kind of a stereotype where like they're expected to provide and be the provider and take care, How do you deal with that stereotype? And do you believe in it?
I think we should be able to depend on each other and not so much depend on each other. Because when you depend on each other, you're saying that you absolutely need something from that person versus counting on each other and being a team. I'm doing something here, can you do it over there?
Hey, Cindy.
True. What about So what about when you just carry yourself and then you just have somebody that you add to your list? At that point, it's hard to kind of relinquish, so to speak, like that level of control. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like I have to do everything else. I know I can't depend on anybody. I don't know if I can learn to depend on somebody. So now I have this person in my life, and they're saying I can depend on them, but how do you trust that? You know?
So I've always thought of relationships kind of like a robot. So like both of us in a boat in the middle of the lake, me with one paddle. I could go and surf. If I had both paddles, I could get us somewhere. But like I'm doing a lot of work, I'm gonna be tired too.
Yeah.
Like I need somebody to paddle with me, and together, two people, two paddles, we can do some work.
So reciprocation. Like both people continue doing what they have to do to make it work.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think that goes here. Let me see your hands. I think that goes along with self accountability in a relationship too. Just did these nails, you guys, while we're showing them.
They're pretty.
You know, she did like a Cocoa Heart theme.
Oh, cute.
It's very cute.
Well,
Very, very
did
cute.
they experience like the butterflies? Did they experience that? Like I've heard somebody say, you know, you found the person when there's nobody in the world better for you. You perceive that person
Thank
to
you,
be the
Chetta.
best person, and there could be nobody better than that person.
Men do get butterflies, yes. Do we see someone better than that person? Not entirely. It's like almost like the world is slowed down.
No. Like time stops, time stands still.
That's romantic.
That's super romantic.
Hmm.
We had a viewer text in their response for their wife, and he had said that he knew that she was the one when he could fully be himself, and she loved him for him being himself. And I thought, I think everybody wants to be loved that way, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's nice to know that you don't have to put on airs or pretend to be something that you're not, and you know that you might not be fully accepted for that, but you're still going to be loved. You know, like I can want the perfect person all day, but they don't exist. So
Yeah. And they say that expectation is the root of all heartache, you know. Which
I no longer have expectations. I have requirements now.
requirements.
Requirements. Because okay, we all have to have boundaries. If you don't have healthy boundaries, then you're going to end up constantly being upset because your expectations weren't met, and because this person is constantly crossing the line and upsetting you, and constantly hurting your feelings because they've crossed these boundaries. So if you have the expectations and think, okay, well, I'm doing all this and I expect them to do this for me, and you say, okay, my requirements are I need somebody in my life who's going to reciprocate or give back at least 30 or 40% of what I give to a relationship, because I know I give 100%. So even just a smidgen of that back would be beneficial to me, you know? Not everybody's going to love the same at the end of the day.
Not everybody does. I was just going to talk about that. I was going to ask about what y'all thought about love languages, the love languages. Like, do you believe in them? Because I made my husband read that book when we first got together, and he kind of thought it was dumb.
I love that book. I love the idea of it. Have you read it?
I love it
Okay,
too.
so in essence, what it means, what the book talks about is that there's 5 different ways that everybody gives love and receives love. And oftentimes the way that you give it is the way that you would love to receive it. And that's why you know so well to give it that way. The love languages are acts of service,
Touch,
words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts. Like
receiving of gifts or giving of gifts.
So when you look at things in that aspect, it makes perfect sense why a lot of relationships don't work. Because if you've got somebody that speaks Spanish and somebody that speaks Japanese, how are you going to understand each other and where you're coming from?
Yeah.
So if I have words of affirmation, but my partner's physical touch, and he's touching me all day long, and I'm feeling like okay, now I'm just here for this, but I don't feel love no matter how much he's touching me and loving me that way. I don't understand that. I see it, I recognize it, but it doesn't make me feel love.
Yeah, you don't recognize it as love
Yeah.
as the way he would.
I wonder if most men, I know they all have different ones, but I wonder, it would be interesting to do a study and see, like, if most men have the same love language. Because they're all very logical. You guys think about things. You guys aren't so much emotional.
We're simple.
And I hear that all the time too.
We're
Men are
what?
simple
We're
creatures.
very simple.
Men are simple creatures. They can
And we
only
do
think
have
about one thing at a
different
time.
ways of love. All of us are different in the ways that we love. What you said, you might be connected physically, somebody else wants to just verbally.
Right. Or like, you might take a girl lunch every day, and that's showing her that you love her and care for her. But then she never brings you lunch, and she's just like doing physical favors for you. Physical favors for
Physical
you.
baby.
And so, yes, as a
Your
man,
husband is gifts, Chetta?
you're gonna like acknowledge those and that you like those, but you're still not feeling like she's doing her part because she's bringing you lunch. She never goes out of her way to do those things for you.
See, that does make sense. Because then that way I'm
Mhm.
or what if I'm saying give her time when she wants to.
Exactly.
I think it's important that both people know each other's love languages because then you can at least, and you see that effort.
I don't know.
You gotta know that's love.
The difference.
I had a relationship like that though, and I was like, so I want to give you recognition for what you are doing because I see that, I recognize that, I'm appreciative of that. However, I'm still in this place where because my love language isn't being filled. You're not telling me.
Oh,
You're not
100%.
affirming or reaffirming how you feel about me. I think a lot of people take for granted what a simple gesture can do. Like it can make your partner feel secure in the relationship. And when a partner doesn't feel secure in a relationship, what happens is that that's when they start nagging you a lot, that they're constantly texting you, they're you start falling apart with overbearing and stuff, and you start to feel suffocated because this person is not trying to make you feel that way. They're actually trying to like beg for what they need as far as their love language so they can feel secure in it.
Okay, so let me read a couple comments real quick, okay?
Yeah.
So Cheddar was talking about her husband's is gifts and not so much touch. So I wanted to ask you, Cheddar, is yours touch? And like, do you feel like that's something you crave throughout your relationship? You don't have to answer, but just a question. And then Micheline wrote, when I ask my hubby what he's thinking, he says blank, and I believe him. Men's minds literally are blank sometimes, which is something women don't ever experience. And that is so true. And I think that's why we as women get so frustrated is because our minds literally don't work the same. And we get mad. We get mad.
We want validation to our thoughts. We want validation to our feelings, right? Where a man can just say what they feel and then be done with it and be like, no, it's done. I said it. Yeah. So that's a huge difference. Men and women really are so different. That's why there's such the like confusion in relationships and the inability to like both feel love at the same time.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's ironic how we were created.
I once dated somebody that their love language was gifts. They told me it was gifts, right? And I thought, I'm gonna get some gifts. I was so excited. I'm gonna get these gifts, right? No. Can I swear on it?
Yeah, you can swear.
So motherfucker really meant that his love language was him receiving gifts. I never got anything. I finally had to start demanding gifts on special occasions and on my birthday. And
Lord.
it was kind of embarrassing to ask for it. But at the end of the day, like I'm almost 50 years old. I'm gonna ask for what I want. So I'd be like, look, there's like 4 days of the year, 4 out of 365. that I expect a gift. It is a requirement at this point. When I'm 365 days buying you little shit, buying you big shit, and I'm not getting I ain't getting nothing back.
Hold on, let me catch up here. So we asked Flawless if she craved touch because hers is touch, her husband's is gift giving. She said, I definitely crave it, but he says I knew he was not touchy feely when I got with him 12 years ago. So what can you do, you know? And I think there is something you can do. I don't think you have to be 12 years in to say it's too late to change. Like it's too late to do something to spark our relationship. Like I think that's the perfect time. The 7 year
It,
7 year void or itch or whatever.
mhm.
Like if you can avoid that at all costs, then y'all better avoid it. Okay, and then my Micheline said my love language is whatever I want when I want it. Spoken like a true Capricorn.
I love that. I'm going to ask Monty this because I have a question for guys on this one. Would you agree when I use this that it's not what you ask a man for, it's how you ask a man for it?
That's true.
Hmm.
Because if you ask and you feel like there's
Jonah.
some type of animosity in your tone of voice and body language, it'll make us more sensitive, and we'll be a little bit more on edge about it. Like,
And less apt to give
more,
it.
I mean, more like, how do I say it? More lean towards the nose in the end.
Yes. So I have
Because you feel resentment, huh?
Yeah, because then you feel when you ask a man for something, immediately when they're in, a man is always in fix it mode. They want to know they can fix whatever the problem is, and that's what makes them. It beats their ego. It makes them feel like a man. And so if I'm constantly asking my man for the same thing, he already feels like he's failing at giving me that. So at the
feedback is Jay needs to speak a little bit louder.
Well, it just makes him on edge and upset because he can't fix whatever it is that's upsetting you.
Yeah. So if you were to pose a question like this, instead of saying like, hey, I'm not using my love language net. I've been telling you several times, it doesn't matter what you give me, I still don't feel love. What if you just went and started giving him your love language, giving him more time, giving him, would he be reciprocate of that?
I don't think so. Because that's exactly what Chetta's talking about on here. And because he said, you knew this when I married you 12 years ago.
So that's because she's asking for it. What if you don't ask for it and you just do it?
I still don't think so. I mean, we could give it a go. Chetta, go touch the shit out of your husband tonight and see if he touches you back.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Well, no, don't be too aggressive. But she wrote, well, he better do something before I scratch the itch, laughing my ass off. And Jonah wrote, I'm going to wait for that French kiss to make me weak. I won't ever itch my scratch. Aw, Jonah, itch that scratch, girl.
We all need to itch our scratches.
We all need to itch our scratches. But my hope is our partner could do that for us. So I'm just going to bring this up because I think it plays into this conversation kind of. My husband turned on the Netflix Ashley Madison documentary yesterday, and I kind of got mad at him. I go, why are we watching a show about people having affairs? And he goes, because it's interesting. He's like, it's interesting to see why all these married people did it. And like when you watch some of the interviews with people that freaking had affairs, they all did it for the same reason. They love their spouse and they don't want to get a divorce, but they're not fulfilled sexually or emotionally. A lot of them were emotionally. They didn't even want sex. They just wanted to be fulfilled emotionally.
But was those just women or was it men?
No, it was men and women. It was both sides of the.
And men were actually not fulfilled emotionally?
Yes. Yes. There was one man that even said that. Like, I know it blew me away. Cheaters anger me so much too, Jonna. My secret is that he is in another state. Oh my God.
So I will say this though, okay? I used to say I can't stand cheaters. It's disgusting. I think it's the most grossest thing anybody could ever do. It's so disrespectful. It's so hurtful. You're ruining lives. I will say this. We do not know each individual person's situation. We don't know what drove them to that. Sometimes
Hello, little Lego.
sometimes it's an escape for somebody from something that they can't cope with. Sometimes it's a coping mechanism, just like drugs or alcohol. I'm not saying that it's unstoppable. I'm not saying that it's not a choice. I am saying that it's easy to judge if you haven't been
Same cheddar.
in that particular situation.
Jonna said, just communicate and let them know you aren't being fulfilled and you ain't meeting my needs. Either get it together, I'm looking elsewhere. That's what I told mine. And how did he respond? I agree with you, Evie, but I think that's kind of where this conversation is leading, especially through love languages, is how do we detect that before it happens? And how do we fix that? And how do we, like Chetta, after 12 years, her man's saying, well, you knew that about me.
I
It's
feel
not,
that.
you know?
I think it's something that happens early on. Like either it's there or it's not. And if it's not there, you can do your best to try and, you know what I'm saying, make sacrifices to accommodate and such, but either it's there or it's not.
Right, and either you're willing to do the work to make it there or not to be there. Like at that point, it becomes, hey, let's have a sit down and let's really discuss our marriage and let's decide if it's worth saving, and if it isn't, there has to be a compromise. There has to be like an actual written down, thing of like, this is what I'm willing to do to save it. This is my compromise I'm willing to make.
Okay, so this is interesting. 2 comments. Little Lego said, I just came across this live. What kind of channel is this? I saw creations. So to answer your question, Lego, we actually work at a beauty shop and we do beauty services. But once a week, we are having conversations that women talk about a lot in beauty shops, and we're kind of opening them up for discussion. And then Jonna said he got it together and told me what he needed too. And honestly, she had no idea he wasn't being met. So like Jonah didn't know she wasn't meeting her husband's needs while he wasn't meeting hers.
Right.
And how often do we think that's the cause of divorce?
Right.
Lack of communication.
100%. Oh yeah.
Yes, it's normally nails, Lego, with some hair thrown in there.
So we post little videos and shorts of us doing our craft. But I just really noticed, I've been in the industry for over 33 years, and I've really noticed that
Hey, Latina.
people open up and tell us things that they would not even tell their therapist. And it's because we touch them. And when you have to touch somebody, there's already a sense of trust that's involved in that. And so then they just spill the beans. They talk about everything. They tell you things that they wouldn't tell their husbands and their best friends, right?
Oh, she ain't kidding. Like when I first started doing nails, I would meet people for the first time and could not believe the stories they would tell me. And it's like all of a sudden, I think it is that physical touch. Like we're touching them and all of a sudden they feel safe. Like I'm holding their hands literally for an hour and a half doing a nail service. And all of a sudden they're spilling their beans to me like I'm their damn psychiatrist.
Right. It's a form of intimacy if you think about it, right? And then I thought to myself, I would like to take this on a bigger scale. I would like to let people know that they're not alone. Everybody's experiencing the same things, and maybe we could all learn from each other and all learn together without judgment, And I want to put a positive light and a positive spin on everything. A lot of people would like to use their platforms to let people come on and talk about horrible, heinous, ugly things. And I do think there's a time and a place for that. But I like that in my shop, everything is uplifting. Everybody is uplifted. And people leave feeling as good as they look. And that's why people keep coming back.
Yep. Little Lego, we would appreciate your sub and your husband's too, or fiance, and congratulations on that. Latina is here. We're doing good, Latina.
Hi, guys.
Lego said, I try to support all channels. I spend more time in lives than my own. Legos, well, thank you. Everybody's just welcoming Lego in. So yeah, we did want to say we want to make sure that any talk just stays positive, no insulting people throughout the thing. Hi, baby. And thank you, Jonna. Yes, please hit the like button. It helps more than you know. We want to keep things positive, uplifting, like we said, but we want honest, open discussion as well.
And we like humor.
And
Let's make
humor.
jokes of everything.
So if you guys, we're going to post a poll every week. So like tomorrow, we will post a poll for next week's show. If our topics aren't listed and there's something else you guys want to talk about, add it. And we'll add it to our list of things we want to talk about. If you want to collab with us on one of these lives, reach out to us and you can come be on the live with us. What else, Ed?
If you want to be a guest and come into the salon,
yeah, if you're local,
with us, you're more than welcome to as well.
Or if you want to fly in from North Carolina, Jonna, since you never been, I want favorite positions. Let's do it. I want favorite positions too. That's a great topic.
I think that's a very good too, because everybody's body's different.
Yes.
And so every different things feel better and different to different people, you know.
So no topic is off limits except religion and politics. We will not talk about that because it just causes fights. But we can talk about sex issues. We can talk about menopause. We can talk about dating online these days. Like anything you guys want to talk about.
We can talk about salon issues.
We can talk about sex, baby.
If you guys work in salons and you maybe have like some situations or some issues going on in your salon that you need addressed, then we can help with that. We can help with questions about hair and nails and stuff. And if you're struggling with a certain thing that you're doing, we can help. What else?
So let me just catch up on the comments here. My hubby joined. Jonna said, I want favorite positions. Chetta said, no, Jonna said that. And Chetta said, oh my God, Jonna. And yes, every Wednesday. Jonna said, no, just kidding. I'm so shy talking sex talk. Whatever. Little Lego is talking about his Lego channel or her. Yes, you can go ahead and drop that link. We'll check it out. Micheline will be in Utah June 20th through the 23rd. Is that a Wednesday? And then John is singing Salt and Pepper. Who's from Utah? I lived there until 1998. We are from Utah, Lego. That is where our salon is, Layton, Utah. Chetta wants to know what Jonna's favorite position is. And little Lego said, okay, I'm sold. So we got us a new subscriber. So that's awesome. Thank you. What else do you have to say, Miss Evelyn?
I want to thank Dave for being here.
Yes.
Time out of your day. Dave's a barber. He works in Salt Lake, right? Do you want to plug yourself?
Yes, I work at Barber League in Salt Lake City.
Is it in the mall?
Inside of the Fashion Place Mall.
Inside the Fashion Place Mall. He's been barbering for about 6 years now. 6, 7 years. He started with us. I'm super salty about that, but
I was just gonna say that. I was like, do we want to talk about that?
He's still here and he'll always be my son. So there's that. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for being willing to come down and share and answer these personal questions.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
I think so too. So Latina said, I think mental health issues is a great topic to touch on as well. We probably daily talk about that in the salon, Latina. So I think that's a really good one. Jay, my hubby said, Jay, my guy. So he's saying, hey, you got to cuff me and choke me. Well, I can handle that, John. I'll be right over. I know right where North Carolina is.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
Micheline needs her hair done, Evie.
Nice.
Ghost Wing movie 2024. What is that little Lego? Is that your channel?
Now I can get the whole couch myself.
I'm just going to keep reading comments for a minute. Yeah, you can see you.
Should I pull my finger up closer?
Yeah. Jay Redcorn says you're the best barber ever. Okay, gotta watch 2 subs. Got you 2 subs. Thank you, Lego. Thank you. Yes, Micheline, we do plan on doing lives while we're working. In fact, if you go back and tune into my last live, that's exactly what that is. But I would love if you would go and watch that and give it a like.
This is Snoopy.
Maybe a
He's a
comment.
shop dog.
Yeah, we do have a shop dog, Snoopy. So we're gonna probably keep this to an hour to an hour long every week. Thank
Depending
you,
on
Lego.
topics too. Because I think there's some topics that people are going to have a lot more to say about than others, you know?
Oh, that's cool, Latina. Her husband and her own a barber shop in California.
Oh, that's awesome.
What part of California? That's cool. So, do you guys cut hair there, or do you guys just own it? Are you stylists? I need some lotion.
There's some on my station.
So anyways, I think we're probably going to get ready to wrap this up. But please look for Ricky's texted me. What time is this over? He says world premiere 5 p.m. today. All right, we'll check that out. We're going to post tomorrow 4 topics to have you guys vote on. And then if you want a different topic, please add it to the bottom. So next week at 4:30 p.m. our time.
I know one of the topics that I'm going to put on the poll is dating after. No, we were going to make it after 30, but then we decided to do all age genres. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if men that are 60 still act like men that are 20.
Well, and we were just talking
or women.
Yeah, because we were talking to a couple of our younger clients this morning, and they're actually the ones that made us think we should open it up to all ages, because they're like, yo, dating's hard for us right now. And we really don't understand that, because we didn't grow up in their generation. Like, we actually had to talk to people face to face.
Yeah,
when we were young.
got most of my dates from the produce section.
The produce section?
I always make sure I was looking at cucumbers and eggplant.
Were you, I was going to say, were you picking up pineapples and turning them upside down?
No pineapples. No pineapples.
I'm just trying to make sure we didn't miss any comments. Yes, how to open world would be. Oh, yes, how to open would be good. What does that mean, Jonna? I don't understand that comment. Oh, they have booth. They have barbers and they do booth rentals. So what kind of business do you want us to talk about when you say talk about business? Multiple personalities. Okay. Business.
Okay.
Micheline wrote, I mine at the grocery.
The best place, because then they know you can cook. You're in there, right? Yeah. So let's talk about business. That's going to be the longer one. So let's put that. We'll put that in one of the. Yeah. You know, we have. There's actually. We should. Yeah.
But it really is a cool story how Evie became a salon owner and
how hard she the offset. I think would be
Sacrifices.
obstacle sacrifices,
Sacrifices, yeah.
being a woman and an owner. And it's just, there's so many topics, you guys. Yeah, we're not scared because we're at our salon, so it's a public business, Lego. We're in Layton, Utah. I do charge money, Jonna. I charge for my nails. And I just scheduled a perm for next week. So I'm super excited about that. But I do charge. You think I should charge more?
I think she should charge more. Her work's impeccable.
Thank you.
Do you think we can wrap it up?
Yeah. So anyways, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate all of you coming. I think it was fun. So a little bit Rusty, but we have some microphones coming. We're about to.
Guys, at the end of every episode, beauty isn't just about highlights in your hair. It's not about extensions, it's not about lashes. Beauty is a state of mind. Beauty is something that comes from within. Sorry, I had to write these things down because I don't remember anything.
Beauty is how you treat others
and the love that you give to others. Sometimes it takes a room full of other people and bring that out in each other.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to bring the salon to you guys, because we feel like that's what happens here. So, especially the art. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I probably am going to start charging more for my art, but we'll see. We'll see. So, anyways, until next week, look out for some shorts and some long form video from the salon in between episodes. But we'll see you next week at 4:30. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Where's the next?